MAHLALA will be remanded in custody at the Kgosimampuru prison after failing to persuade the Alexandra Magistrates Court to release him on bail. The director of 4 companies allegedly orchestrated the foiled assassination attempt on his former partner, Tebogo Tobejane. The state also centralized 2 other cases against him for 2 separate shooting incidents.
The pattern of allegations across 3 separate incidences, the Tobejane shooting, the Sibanyoni shooting, and the DJ Wetty shooting, suggest a repeated modus operandi involving target violence. Even accepting that the applicant disputes the allegation, the gravity and the consistency of the state's version creates a substantial risk that his release would endanger the safety and the security of the complainants and the wider community.
MAHLALA's Home Affairs records show that he is still outside South Africa despite being in prison. The state argued that his Eswatini identity card, in which he calls himself Vusimuzi Dlamini, further proves that he would evade trial.
Having evaluated the evidence, the court finds the applicant has failed to demonstrate that he does not pose a flight risk. The applicant has failed to dispel the risk of interference with state witnesses and obstruction of justice. The nature and seriousness of the offences demonstrate a clear danger to the safety of the community. The state's case viewed at this stage cannot be described as weak.
The father of 9 is not a first-time offender and is a previous conviction for housebreaking. Police are not ruling out further investigations against him.
We cannot rule out the possibility that at a later stage, we will then go back and investigate why do we have more than 13 cases withdrawn against CAT MAHLALA. We will go back to ask ourselves, why was he not found guilty in some of these cases? I mean, you're talking about a 2006 cash and transit heist that he was found not guilty on.
Tobejane has allegedly been receiving threats to withdraw the attempted murder case.
We'll also do our best to ensure that our witnesses are protected because we have raised concerns about the safety of our witnesses as well in court. The interference, the likelihood that the accused, if he was released on bail, would have interfered with our witnesses. So as the interest of justice dictates, he must remain in custody until he's dealt with in accordance with the law.
MAHLALA is expected back in court in October. He will be joined by 4 other accused in the matter, including his wife, Neria Shakutsa.
I can indicate, commissioners, that, as I said earlier, the methodology that was used by the team in KZN, the team brought that to this Gauteng operation, which was incorporated in Gauteng, which then led into the arrest of one Mr. Katiso Molefe, who was arrested, became the 4th suspect on the Ferrenere murder case. And that also included the execution of a search and seizure warrant at the property of another individual, Mr. Vusmu's CAT MAHLALA. And both those operations, they were running on the same day, on the 6th of December, 2024, in Gauteng.
So, to check my understanding, and in particular in relation, for example, to the arrest of Mr. Katiso Molefe, you suggest that the task team members were involved in that operation, they were a part of that operation, but they were not doing so as falling under the auspices of the task team. They were falling under GCI ops. Is my understanding correct?
It is correct. If I can maybe request, Commissioner, as we have done when we call the members political killings task team. So this is a group of members that are part of the team, or some of them are coming from Limpopo, or some of them are coming from Cape Town, some of them from other provinces, and from different disciplines, be it crime intelligence, be it detective and forensic, but they're not referred to as Limpopo, they're not referred to as forensic, they're referred to as a political killings task team. So the 10, upon leaving KZN, they put aside the title of being a political killings task team, and they wore the badge of being a Gauteng counterintelligence operation. So going forward, we'll then talk about the Gauteng organized crime investigative team or operation that was running. So that is the title that they will be carrying, knowing that they are coming from wherever they come from, but they are now a Gauteng organized crime operation team.
So then at paragraph 115, you suggest to leave these issues at this juncture, explaining that General Khumalo will in due course testify to these facts.
That is true, Commissioner. It's for that reason that I'm saying that this was Lieutenant General Khumalo running operation under his profile or portfolio as crime intelligence, not as a project leader for the political killings task team. Therefore, he will come and explain more of what this operation is all about.
You next specifically make reference to two arrests. The arrest of, the heading of your subject is arrest of Molefe and MAHLALA. And you deal with a number of issues pertaining to these arrests. I would like us to go through that, starting at paragraph 116.
Commissioner, the heading here says arrest of Molefe and MAHLALA. Because we are covering, we had said earlier on paragraph 114 that there was a search and seizure at MAHLALA, but not the arrest. That was on the 6th. But as we work on this paragraph going down, we're going to reflect the arrest of MAHLALA, which then occurred later. That's why the heading reads arrest of both Molefe and MAHLALA. As I said, Commissioner, that General Khumalo, Lieutenant General Khumalo, as a project leader, as a person who had asked me to release members to go and assist, we therefore remain in contact, communication between me and him, partly mainly because I needed to get a regular feedback about these members that he had requested for, because I needed to establish the extent, the duration that these members are going to remain in this team. So we had to keep in contact and updating me on what was happening. The main reason is because the members still had to execute the task of KZN as it was given to them, which will include some of the work that was done in the Eastern Cape. But they were withdrawn to come and support him in Gauteng. So I did not want that prolonged deployment of theirs to have an impact on the work of the task team in KZN. That's why we had that continuous communication in order to be able to know what is going on. So, commissioners, that's why I'm saying that it was necessary for this communication in order for me to be able to know the duration of this operation. And that is why then during this engagement between me and him, he will constantly update me about the work that the GCI ops were doing in Gauteng. And he then outlined to me that on the 6th of December last year, the members that the operation GCI ops in Gauteng resulted in the arrest of Mr. Molefe, as well as the search and seizure and the questioning of Mr. MAHLALA. Both of them were accused. One was accused of murder on and the other one was questioned with regard to the kidnapping of one Mr. Jerry Boshoga. So I'm advised, Commissioner, that soon after Molife's arrest and charge for murder and conspiracy to commit murder, after that charges were leveled against him, there's been further charges that is also be included on Mr. Molefe. Mr. MAHLALA was questioned in December, but only to be arrested in May this year, where he was arrested on 3 counts of attempted murder as well as conspiracy to commit murder. So both of these individuals have now formally been charged with serious offenses for which harsh sentences will probably be imposed by the law if proven. So it is my considered view that the secondment of these 10 members from the political killings task team was correct. The decision that we made to release them have got us a result in terms of assisting in dealing with the organized crime and also satisfying the concerns that were raised by the senior prosecutor, Advocate Gutierrez, when she wrote a letter and raising a concern with regard to the work of the investigators on a very relevant case.
So in terms of yes, Commissioner.
General, the secondment of the 10 members of the task team, what became of it? Is it still in place? Are they still seconded?
Commissioner, the members are still on the ground. The operation is still ongoing. The very same Gauteng counterintelligence operation is the one that led to the arrest of Mr. Molefe again. It's the one that led into the arrest of Mr. MAHLALA. It's a team that today, as we sit here, has been part of the opposing of the bail of Mr. MAHLALA, which was denied by court today.
Family, CAT MAHLALA was refused bail, and while General NHLANHLA MKHWANAZI was testifying in the MADLANGA Commission, and he made reference in the MADLANGA Commission that the arrest of CAT MAHLALA, part of the task team that worked together in collaboration with the team that was in Gauteng. So now, it was after MKHWANAZI had talked about what happened about the 121 dockets that were moved to Gauteng. After he exposed that, there was a move, and to date, that CAT MAHLALA was refused bail, which makes General NHLANHLA MKHWANAZI credible on what he has been saying about the corruption that has been going on. I just don't know how Mkhunu, the Minister of Police, will rebut this. He did allude to this, that these are the results of what the task team was doing. Even those who were doubting NHLANHLA saying a lot of things, but a lot of people, to my understanding, are really panicking because they don't know what is coming. All those people who have got some small pegzanyana hanging around them of corruption, they will be in a big problem. I'm just thinking about the minister, listening to what has been going on today. What is the Minister of Police? How is he going to rebut what NHLANHLA MKHWANAZI? Because NHLANHLA MKHWANAZI, what he's dangerous with, he's more professional. He's got receipts of whatever evidence that he was. If he doesn't have the receipt, he has somebody who's backing him up with the receipt. So this is great news for our justice system, because when we see such things happening, more especially when the high-profile people get arrested or get exposed because of the shenanigan working with the syndicate from the background, while our people are suffering, are being killed, and nothing is happening to these people because they are being protected. Because we need somebody with a really muscle who understands how the system works. I want to say kudo to NHLANHLA MKHWANAZI, putting up the team and being called to come to Gauteng, helping the team in Gauteng, and they got to arrest the very dangerous criminals. Bravo, bravo, bravo.